All right, then. Welcome to Original Bacon. This is my 5th episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. review. This episode I didn't get very much notes on, but a lot of good stuff happens. First off, at the end of the last episode, we find out that Raina has a little time bomb on her, put on her by the general that's in charge of Hydra right now, otherwise known as the Kraken. But his name that they're using right now, they're not calling him the Kraken, they're calling him Daniel Whitehall. He's the general that has not aged, and he was a Nazi during with Red Skull, and he wants her to get He wants Raina to get the obelisk back to him from Skye's father, and he's giving her 48 hours to do it, and that's where we leave off of the preview. Except for we know that she's going to target Simmons and blackmail Coulson to get the obelisk, or get Skye to take to her father so that she can get the obelisk back. First off, we open with Hydra attacking this ceremony, the wedding of a Navy officer, and all these Navy officers are there, and they give him the champagne that it looks like the obelisk stuff because it turns the skin black, and they all die of, basically it sucks out all the moisture in their body. And then Coulson is keeping stuff from Skye. He's drawing again, and he can't control it. He's starting to draw on his desk while people are talking to him, I believe he's covering up some of his drawing because they came in while he was drawing, and he covers it up with a book or something like that. Skye's dad, Raina, goes from Daniel Whitehall to Skye's father to ask for the obelisk back, because otherwise he's going to kill her, or Daniel Whitehall's going to kill her. And Skye's father is in the middle of he's a doctor, apparently, an underground doctor, because he's operating on this guy to save his life, like these two mercenaries. And she comes in, and they're very angry because because a lot of people are probably hunting for those two guys, and this guy's dad's like, you should probably go back to the Kraken because he's going to be less merciful, because I'm not giving you the obelisk unless you give me my daughter. And so the Kraken, Daniel Whitehall, knows that Simmons, well, he knows about Simmons because he knows that she's a well-trained agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that they know that she worked under Coulson, and that she is a highly prized piece of the team. So they're watching her closely because she has a lot of she's been with S.H.I.E.L.D. most of her life. Skye doesn't believe Ward. She goes downstairs to talk to Ward about her father, and she doesn't believe him because he says that Raina works for her father. And yeah, she just does not believe Ward whatsoever. But Simmons, when they find out that someone is that an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. has infiltrated Hydra, they immediately go to Simmons, and because they see the paper, there's like this paper that she speaks a message, and it writes it down for her, and then she basically hits the button, and then it looks like a taco wrapper, like a piece of paper from like a taco, and she can fold it up and throw it away. But Raina sees her doing this, and then sends a message to Hydra saying that there is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. that's sending messages to S.H.I.E.L.D. from within Hydra, and Simmons is automatic target, but she has some of those extra papers just hidden in her desk. I don't know why she would have those, considering Hydra knows exactly what they are, but she's storing them in her desk at work at Hydra. Well, she takes them and she sneaks them into her lab assistant's desk, and he gets caught instead of her. And well, Raina ends up calling Coulson and says, I'm going to, unless you give me Skye, or I want to have a lunch or a dinner. And And otherwise, I'm going to. Well, she doesn't threaten yet, but when they're at dinner in the next scene, Raina says, if you don't give me Skye, and so I can take her to go see her father, who she's been searching for forever, I'm going to divulge that Simmons is. I have this picture on my phone because she took a picture of Simmons sending the message, and I'm gonna send it to Hydra. And so Coulson calls her bluff. He already has an extraction team ready for Simmons, and it ends up being the lady that Simmons is scared of, because there's a lady that's been pushing her, saying, "What are you doing here?" Blah 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 blah, and pointing her finger at her, saying that I think you're the person who's infiltrated she or Hydra. And so Simmons gets extracted with the help of this lady. Coulson calls the bluff and actually injects Raina with like a tracker or something like that to lead. They get the location of where Skye's father is, and Skye, nobody knows this, but Skye goes running off to go find her father, and they put a tracker in Raina so that they can find the location of Daniel Whitehall. And so she gets sent off to go find Daniel Whitehall. We don't know whether she finds Daniel Whitehall or if Coulson's able to capture him at all. When Skye goes to the location of where her father was operating on those two guys, Skye finds a picture of her as a baby with her father, and Coulson finds her, and they have like a moment where Skye wants all in. She doesn't care. She finds out what her dad has been up to, and she wants to be all in. She doesn't want Coulson to have any secrets from her, and she wants to help bring her father to justice. She doesn't care about just reuniting with him. She knows that he's an evil man. And meanwhile, Skye's father is watching Coulson and Skye on a tablet, and he calls himself, I don't know whether he's calling himself a monster or if he's calling Coulson a monster, and then he hits the tablet and shatters it. Although Coulson and Skye both have the alien DNA in them. Maybe he's calling Skye a monster. I'm not quite sure. Wants to stop her dad. Coulson shows his drawings. Actually, when they get back to the base, Skye has this meeting with Coulson, says that she wants to bring her dad in, that he's a monster, and she doesn't want anything to do with him. I guess she's putting him in the same boat as Ward. But Coulson, since Skye has been in charge of looking up stuff about the drawings, he lifts up the monitor that's in his office, and there's a whole another diagram of what he's been carving in. I don't know if he's been working on that carving this whole time, because it looked like Ward's predecessor had, that ended up going crazy in the first season. Like, he kept on drawing them over and over and over and over again, and he like filled whole rooms and floors and ceilings and like panels of glass. He filled them with this drawing, and Coulson just has like this board, and I don't know, it's a huge board, but I don't know whether that's just because he said I just did that yesterday. So I don't know how many of those boards he's gone through or how many times he's redrawn this, but Skye's seeing it as a problem because after Ward's trainer went completely nuts, and Coulson ended up killing him. But we end up finding out that the woman that helps Skye out is now joining Coulson's team, and it's also Hunter's ex-wife, and is also best friends with with a bunch of the mercenary crew that was with Lucy Lawless. And we also find out that Simmons is back. Simmons gets brought back, and now she goes and talks with Fitz. And Fitz originally thinks that she is just another incarnation for his imagination. And they kind of are standoffish right now. And Skye's dad, at the very last of the episode, Skye's dad walks into Daniel Whitehall, the Kraken's office, and a bunch of his guards try to stop him, and he just kills them outright with the bag, and tells him that he's going to give him the obelisk, or he calls it the diviner, and he's going to teach him how to use it and how to survive touching the diviner. And he wants to team up to take down Coulson and get his daughter back. And he says, I want to kill everybody. So we're going to find out what happens next episode. Thank you for watching Original Bacon, my Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. 5th episode. This is my 21st episode. I'm super excited to keep this going. Thank you very much. Bye.